And good evening and welcome to Oxfordshire's brand new sports show called Ox Sports Unleashed, where we're here each week on a Thursday into your living rooms, jacuzzis, bathrooms, toilets, sheds, greenhouses, wherever you are. Hopefully we're in with you. Lots to look forward to tonight, some things that I'm quite excited about, actually, some new features, some new sports actually being highlighted on the programme tonight, so quite excited by that. Kieren, what do you think about last week's show and what are you looking forward to tonight?
We've got some highlights, some good highlights again. We're struggling to find a goal of the week this week, actually, but there are a lot of goals, but a few mistakes, I would say, this week. Certainly in the Oxford City game. Thankfully for Oxford City, the mistakes were against them, so that helped. Oxford City finally picking up a victory. And that's actually where we're going to start this week's show. It was Oxford City versus Woking in the National League, the Vanarama National League last Saturday. City on the back of 6 games without a win, and they dropped into the bottom 2, and they entertained Woking at the Royal Charging Stadium. And a little bit of a caveat to this commentary. One of my co-commentators got a little bit excitable,
just a little bit,
when Oxford City scored their 3rd goal and cut me off in my prime. Couldn't hear me.
How rude. How rude.
Couldn't hear me. The views went up as soon as that happened. But here is the highlights. Here are the highlights of Oxford City against Woking on Saturday. Spoiler alert, I've already given you the result, 3-2. Followed by a brief interview with the City manager, Ross Jenkins, who was a little bit happier with his team's performance at the weekend.
Oh, then he's closed down by Lewis, moves the ball over to the left with Rennie Smith. Humphrey Ewers under pressure from Rhys Brown, and the referee gets in the way of Rhys Brown and stops the Woking attacker from continuing to press Humphrey Ewers. It didn't matter in the end, though, as City are forced all the way back to Bycroft, who takes a touch, looking for another option. Carroll playing it round the back, City here. Here's Bycroft again, looking for Burley. City are playing quite positively in midfield, but they're being hustled and harried by Woking in these early stages, and they're being made to work really hard to gain any yards on the pitch, and eventually a ball is sent forward, a long ball which is loose, but Ollie Sanderson will chase Jääskeläinen, and he's blocked by Ollie Sanderson. Sanderson gets past Jääskeläinen. There's a chance here for McEachran, moves the ball onto his left and shoots, and it's in! And Oxford City take an early lead in this game. I've got to say, it's slightly against the run of play, but when they have been given their chance, they've taken it, and it's taken 13 minutes. Zach McEachran, the birthday boy, scores the goal. It was a mistake from Jääskeläinen, but City won't care. Brilliant work from Ollie Sanderson to nick the ball off the goalkeeper, eventually tee up Zach McEachran, who dribbles into the penalty area and smashes the ball into the net with the aid of a header from Scott Cuthbert, who in fairness did all he could to try and keep that one out, but could do nothing about it. And already in this game we've had an early goal, and Greg Taylor, they defended quite well and kept City at arm's length. It's just that one mistake that's led to the first goal.
Yeah, huge experience in the centre of the Woking defence in Cuthbert and Taylor. Cuthbert more than 400 appearances in the EFL with Swindon and Leyton Orient and Luton and Stevenage. So lots of experience there, and Greg Taylor as well, signed in the summer after 10 years at Cambridge United. So yeah, Woking packed full of experience in this side, and they're going to be a challenge, but that's given away by Lewis, and now McEachran's going to have a run at goal. He's still on the ball, McEachran. Beautiful ball through to Ollie Sanderson, and Ollie Sanderson has doubled Oxford City's lead. Zach McEachran, the goal scorer of the first goal, turns provider this time with a really good defence-splitting pass to Sanderson, and he make no mistake to fire into the bottom corner, and it's Oxford City 2, Woking 0. Back to Bradshaw again, but really good defending again from Oxford City. 2 or 3 defenders there standing tall and just preventing any opportunity getting the ball into the box. And now Ollie Sanderson picks up the loose ball on the centre line and lays the ball out to the left hand side to Mitchell Roberts, back to Latrell Humphrey Ewers, and Humphrey Ewers decides to go all the way back to centre half Canis Carroll, who, as we've alluded to a couple of times, is making his 100th appearance for the club today. But now City on the attack again with McEachran. Every attacking piece of play seems to be coming through McEachran at the moment, who really does look back to his best. Canis Carroll out to the right hand side to Moore. Beautiful bowl to Tafari Moore. Moore's got plenty of space to run into. Still Moore across to McEachran. McEachran threads the ball back into Tafari Moore again. It's with McEachran on the edge of the box. Out to the right hand side to Coyle. Coyle left footed cross. Headed up into the air and
brilliant ball into Mitchell Roberts, and Roberts is in here, brings the ball inside the box, squares it across the box. There's no one there, but here's Coyle, sends one towards goal, and it's a good save from Jääskeläinen, who makes amends for his mistake in the first half. The referee's been Sam Mulhall's done quite well to stay out of the contentious decision so far. Chance here though.
Oh, it's a goal to Woking, and out of nowhere Woking have pulled one back. Poor defending really as well, and we were talking just a moment ago about whether the next goal would be crucial, and with Woking scoring it, that could set the nerves jangling a little bit, and it is Paddy Almond. And Paddy Almond's a prolific goal scorer, and when he had the opportunity there, he slotted it into the net to Mitchell Roberts, into McEachran, but this time he miscontrols the ball, and a little bit of nerves creeping in, and now Almond is in again into the penalty area. Almond a ball across, a crucial challenge from Canis Carroll.
Why isn't he not letting Rennie Smith come back on?
Well, Rennie Smith
he's
needs
just
to shout.
keeping his hand down.
Rennie Smith needs to shout to the ref that he's ready, because the referee's forgotten, I think. Yeah, on he comes now.
Oh, there's a chance here!
Terrible mistake there from Jääskeläinen, and Josh Parker has capitalised on the mistake.
Well,
Jääskeläinen. Williams has got a chance to maybe get Woking one late consolation goal. Woking still in possession in the penalty area, but good bit of defending there. Ince has the ball back to Ince again. Appeal for handball from the fans behind the goal there. The referee's still playing on. I haven't seen any other stoppages, so I'm not sure where he's found this extra minute from, but Woking still looking to try and get a goal. With Taylor out to Williams into the penalty area, and ball comes in, and it's going to be a goal to Woking.
It's a goal
right at the death, and it's Padraig Armand again, and the extra minute that's been added on, Woking have pulled back to 3-2. The scoreboard's given up the ghost. Surely that's it, though, isn't it? I
mean, you'd like to think so, but I think City just fell asleep. I think they thought it was all over.
Ross, a week off, and then back to the Royal Charles Stadium with a hard-fought 3-2 victory.
Yeah, having that sort of spare week definitely helped us in terms of the injured boys and trying to get a couple more back. Obviously, it was good to have Aaron and I back on, sort of fit for selection, back on the bench. Two boys that I've been missing over last week, so that was good. It had a good feel to it this week in terms of training to sort of reset and go again. Managed to work on a few things, and yeah, we saw some glimpses of it today. Pleasing that the result, that's the main thing. The result was the most pleasing thing, but I thought the performance and sort of the maturity to the performance was there tonight and tonight. So yeah, I mean, really good performance all round. I was disappointed with the last goal. I thought we'd run over time from what the fourth was saying. That was a bit of a sucker punch, but it is what it is. The 3 points was the main thing, and we got that today.
There you go, that's Ross Jenkins reflecting on that 3-2 victory over Woking. I think the best part of that highlights package was when the commentary disappeared, but we're not going to say goals of the week in that one. I think
McEachran's
assist for Ollie Sarnason was decent.
It was a good goal. I liked it.
But two goalkeeping howlers, shall we say? Jääskeläinen, the third goal particularly, tried to come out of his area, tried to head it, misheaded it, and Josh Parker's not going to miss from there. And that was a crucial win for Oxford City. They have another real crucial game coming up this weekend. It's going to be live on BBC Radio Oxford. Get a plug in there because Oxford United aren't playing. So Ebbsfleet United versus Oxford City will be live on Radio Oxford. And can Oxford City string back-to-back wins together? It's a pretty crucial one because Ebbsfleet are just above them in the relegation zone as well. In fact, if you look at the bottom four in the National League at the moment are the 4 sides that went up. Ebbsfleet, York, Ebbsfleet, Kidderminster, Oxford City, and my producer going to tell me who the other one is. Ebbsfleet, Kidderminster, Oxford City, and somebody else. Anyway.
AFC File.
AFC File. Thank you, Darryl.
My knowledge is
better than mine.
No, thank you, co-producer. Interesting, because Oxford City have got their players back fit, haven't they, actually, now? No, still not.
No, they had a couple back. They had, Reece Fleet may be back this weekend. Josh Ashby's long-term. Nia Kirby and Aaron Winners-Bushell were on the bench, but they didn't really come on. Bushell did right at the end. So it's slowly easing, but there's still a few weeks to go, I think. Fingers crossed, Reece Fleet, the captain, will be back this week. And that will help, certainly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also a good weekend for another club in the National League.
Local side, Banbury United, were away at Tamworth. And I'm not going to give a spoiler. I'm not going to give the scoreline, but it was a fantastic result for Banbury, nevertheless, against top of the league at the time, Tamworth. And here's the highlights with Mark Jones' interview afterwards.
But prior to that, they did actually beat Southport away 1-0 and Boston 2-1. So it could be a tricky afternoon for Tamworth. Underway then, kicking off here at the Compare to Build Stadium at the Lamb. Tamworth versus Banbury United. Tamworth looking to bounce back, get some points on the board, stop the rot as we call it, with 3 defeats in a row now. Yeah.
Probably should have been.
Yeah, a good 10 yards further back, isn't it? And it's played wide straight away from Jealous to Fairlam. Strokes it forward into Alex Jones, wide to Kai Williams, back to Fairlam. Nice, sharp, incisive play. Chipped forward by Callum Riley. Lovely looking ball. Finds Jones now. What about the cross in to Schooner? Wide and rising and off balance. Nathan to Schooner. Totally, very grounded. Always got time for you. To Schooner makes room for the pass into Jones. Finds Jealous with a bit of room. Good block. Jealous again. Blocked once more. 10 yards from goal. Rebounds to Callum Riley. Trying to make room for the shot. Has to settle for the pass to Dempsey. I'll let John. He digs out a far posted cross. Kai Williams on the chest. Tries to fire it back over and it's blocked by Dion Kelly-Evans out for a Tamworth corner. Curley off the knee. Forward. That's a lovely pass actually in the end, and a lovely flick from Deacon to Kai Williams is in the area. Low shot actually of sorts as he tried to challenge the ball, and it goes into the grateful gloves of Jack Harding at the near post.
Fans I have genuine sympathy for, but it's really hard to find sympathy for the actual
Tamworth
club
breaking
itself.
Through midfield with Matt Curley now. After hesitant play by Banbury, he pushes it wide to Kai Williams, just inside the area now, waiting for support. He's got that with Riley. Prods it past, should be a penalty, surely to Tamworth, and a shot and goal from Williams, palmed away. Playing at that tempo. That's a missed clearance by Fleming and a missed header. But fortunately for Banbury, Tamworth can't profit. Forward by Harding. But you can just tell now the Banbury players are just starting to get a bit rattled, aren't they, Stu?
Just a little bit.
Jealous. Infield to Kai Williams. He rolls it across to Schooner. He'll shoot! Oh, that's just wide. Just over the bar from Nathan to Schooner. Another Banbury throw right in front of us here. Hall to take short, backwards this time to Davis. Loops it on the volley forward. Header by Willits. Arlett John stoops and heads out the centre circle to Schooner. Lovely prodded ball through to Ty Deacon. It's gone down in the area, appeals for a penalty and messily cleared away by Banbury. I don't think, to be honest, it really was a penalty shout.
No, I don't. The Banbury players all looked across to try and signal the offside.
Back in it goes, cleared again by Banbury. Tamworth still trying to keep it alive. It's not recycled by Brogan and Banbury come over halfway now. Surely offside against Youssef. On goes Youssef, chance, goal! Banbury score! It looked an absolute country mile offside to me. you back a result today, which at the moment is a defeat, but it just feels harsh. In by Brogan, header on goal. Yes, it's Cullinane Livers. It's 1-1.
Instant reaction from Tamworth. It sent the entire ground into complete raptures, stunned the Banbury players and fans into silence.
Curley trying to keep the pressure on. Banbury can't get out at the moment. Forward it goes, Dempsey Arlett-John, lovely little touch around his man. What about a cross? Whipped across onto the roof of the net from Harding. Well, I think it was a cross from Dempsey Arlett-John. On remaining, forward by Jack Harding. Is it all done and dusted now for Tamworth, who will have to settle for a point, or is there a twist still to come in the tail here this afternoon? Banbury are actually in possession now in an attacking sense as well. This is danger really for Tamworth. Got a Lewis Hall cross coming towards far post, repelled initially. Shot across the bows. Would you believe it? It is in the back corner of the net. Fired in. Banbury lead 2-1.
That's gone.
Corner coming in from Brogan then. Can Tamworth get this equaliser? Up go the heads. Not fully cleared. Keep it alive to Schooner. Oh, Gaiazi with a wayward drive, and that is the final whistle.
I think safely to say, Mark, I'd imagine a delighted Mark Jones.
God, what a roller coaster of emotions throughout the game. Very, very tough place to come. I thought, try and summarise that game as best I can. The old heart still going, as you can imagine. But I thought we controlled the game pretty well after the first 10 minutes or so. Thought some of our passing was pretty good, and we sort of, we were fairly in control first. I thought it was a reasonable away performance. Second half was a different. Tamworth got a head of steam up going down the slope. They're obviously a very good side. I mean, they're not top of the league, for no reason. It's a difficult place to come, and they really sort of, put us under the cosh for large spells, and we were just sort of playing off breakaways, really. But you've got to say, I mean, tremendous character shown from all of our players. I mean, Jack Harding again making crucial saves when we need him to. Adi Youssef coming off the bench and scoring again, after 2 minutes coming on. But it's, look, I mean, it was a tough day for us. We had to give absolutely everything to get the 3 points, and to score it in the 98th minute there with Simeon May. It was great scenes for the supporters behind the goal. So pleased for them.
So that's Mark Jones after that terrific win for Banbury, 2-1 away at Tamworth. Darryl thinks the first goal for Banbury was offside. I'm going to say I don't think it was, but it was close, but I think possibly level. From the camera angle, it's hard to tell, isn't it, to be fair? But a great win, and that particular win moved Banbury up to just a point off the playoffs, and they were in action in midweek, and we'll bring you that action a little bit later in the programme.
I think they did really well, because Tamworth were pressurising them a lot in that game. I think Banbury did well.
Second half especially, it was
absolutely.
all Tamworth, but great result.
Great result. So that brings us nicely to our weekly roundup with our firm of solicitors, Lyon and Ryde. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, should I? It starts with Colin having a conversation with Paul Lyon, the outgoing Oxford City director.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Colin. How are you?
I'm okay, mate. And hi, Patrick.
Good evening, Colin. How are you?
I'm okay. Now then, most people these days support more than one football team. That's often because people end up living and working away from their hometown. In my case, born in Southampton, but I've lived and worked for over half my life in Oxford. So that means that my hometown teams are Southampton. I support Oxford United. And Oxford City, I've got a huge respect also for North Lee as well. So it's bad when all three teams lose, but great when all three win, as they did on Saturday. Southampton winning 2-1 away at West Brom, Oxford City 3-2 at home to Woking, and Oxford United by the same score away at Leyton Orient. That result for the U's meant Oxford United's caretaker manager, Craig Dawn, notched up his second win in temporary charge. U's following up their win against Chelsea under 21s with that 3-2 win. Bodin and Rodriguez were on the score sheet for United, and Paul Rodriguez was a summer signing from Notts County, and Notts County's current manager Luke Williams is one of the bookies' favourites to take over at United. What do you think about a lower league manager taking over at United, as opposed to like a marquee signing like Frank Lampard?
Well, you know what Justin and I have done at Oxford City. We like to promote from within if we can, and if you look at United, Craig Short's been at Oxford now for what, 3.5 seasons. Great footballer. Remember when he used to play for Derby, Everton, Blackburn? He had good pedigree in his playing days, but he's been an assistant now for a number of years at Oxford. So you'd think he would understand the philosophy at Oxford United, and maybe he'd give him a chance to see what he can do. But, I think these days, chairman, boards of directors are impatient. They want instant success, don't they? And maybe they'll look a little bit higher up to find somebody that will push Oxford United into the Championship. But look what we did at City when we promoted Ross Jenkins up. I can remember at the time there were a few rumblings in the supporters club about who's Ross Jenkins. We've never heard of him. He's not the David Oldfield, is he? But that's all forgotten now 2 years later.
Okay, Paul. So United won, so did City. And in City's case, it was important to reverse 3 losses on the bounce, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And we always said that once we start getting our injured players back, we'll go and win some games, get some points. And thankfully, we had Canis Carroll back this week, and obviously Canis has been a big miss the last few games for us. We still shipped a couple of goals, disappointingly, but luckily we're outscoring the opponents on Saturday, which is a sort of a sign of our recent form. Really, we need to score 2 or 3 goals to try and get a win. So we had Canis back this weekend, and we had Aaron Williams-Bushell back. So that's good, and we'll have a few more coming back shortly.
Now, Patrick Locke, the headline that you wrote in this week's non-league paper about Oxford City's game was fast starting hoops see it out in style as Cards collapse a game. Now, Patrick, that game saw 5 goals, a vintage performance from Zach McEachran, a fantastic goal-saving block from Canis Carroll, and City's press officer Andy Gate got so overexcited when Josh Parker banged in City's 3rd goal in 90 minutes that he accidentally knocked over the BBC console and took himself and Kieren off air for about 5 minutes. All that action, and you still only gave the game 3 stars. So, Patrick, my question to you is, are you the footballing equivalent of Craig River-Horde on Strictly Come Dancing, who never gets his top marks out at all? And what will what will it take for you to give a game 5 stars, Patrick?
Oh, it's a good question, isn't it? And now you listed all of those things. It's maybe I should have given it 4 or 5 stars really, but it's one of those like when I'm doing the player ratings as well, like it's almost impossible for a player to get 10. So to be honest, I don't know how to answer the question. Actually, what would have to do to get 5 out of 5?
Patrick, what did you give Oxford City against St Albans in the playoff final?
Well, thankfully I didn't have to do that, but I'd have probably given it 5 stars. But probably a little bit biased on that one, to say.
Would Zach have got a 10?
I think so. I'm probably the semi-final as well, to be honest. But I think Zach McEachran is the only player I've given a 10 in the non-league paper, and I did have to send a justification to the non-league paper as well, just to make it look like I wasn't like deliberately doing it. But I guess I am a little bit like a Craig River-Horde. I know you've pulled me up on it several times about underrating games. So maybe next time I'll give it a bit of a higher rating.
All right. Okay, Patrick, take us through the rest of the weekend's results, how the tables looked on Saturday night, and what local footy fans got to look forward to this weekend. Patrick Locke.
Yeah, so obviously we've already heard about the great results for Oxford United, Oxford City and Banbury United on Saturday. So we'll have a quick look through the Southern League action and the action from Sunday as well now. It was a very tough day for Didcot Town on Saturday in the Southern League Premier South. They were beaten heavily 7-0 at home by Poole Town. They trailed 2-0 at the break, but conceded 5 in a 20-minute spell in the second half to inflict their heaviest defeat of the season. There was an Oxfordshire derby in the Southern League Division 1 Central last weekend, and as Northley hosted Tame United. It's a game that went with form, actually, as Northley won 3-0. Owen James and Dan West put them into a 2-0 lead in the first half before Lance Williams added a third just after the break to keep Tame rooted to the bottom of the table.
Yeah, let's finish in the D1C. Northley 3, Tame United 0. Manager James Keller, how do you summarise that game again?
Yeah, I think the positive thing of that result is we're back on track and we've got 3 points. Performance-wise, we wasn't what we really wanted, but look, at the end of the day, it's one of these games, like I said earlier, to a few people, like you work hard in this level of football, you'll get results. And I think we just worked harder and a bit more quality than taken today.
Cool. Obviously, going into this game as manager, what sort of things were going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, we've had two tricky results, really. Probably results where I feel we had enough chances to win the game. So I'm never really fear of our chance, creating chances. So I was positive, quietly positive to get the 3 points today. I thought some of the ex-Tame lads were going to put a bit more in today as well, because obviously coming from Tame. And then, look, we've got the 3 points. It wasn't the prettiest game of football that we've had this season, but that's why we wanted 3 points.
Cool. Talk about the goals. Owen James, they all count. Expected one goes in. Dan West scores against his old club, and Lance Williams steals one from Greg Hackett cross, but it doesn't matter. It's 10 of the season for him.
Yeah, look, OJ works his socks off week in, week out, and he does deserve a goal. He hasn't scored in a bit. He sets up goals, but he gets in the right position and scores a goal. West he'd be happy scoring against his former club, but I think equally he'd be happy getting the 3 points as well for us. And Lance, I've got no words for Lance. He just keeps popping up in the right places and putting them in the back of the net. And look, fair play to him. He works hard Tuesday, Thursday, and gets his result on match day.
In the other game in the division, Northleaf struck late on to earn a point away at Aylesbury United. They twice had to come from behind through Rocco Tamplin goals for Aylesbury, but Conor Ferguson levelled for Kidlington just before half-time, before another Owen James struck in the second half stoppage time to deny Aylesbury all 3 points and ensure a point returned up the M40 with them.
A late equaliser. What do you make of the game as a whole?
We were dreadful. No, I just said to the boys, look, we took one of the best teams in the league on Wednesday to the very last minute. It was a big win. And we had 5 lads carrying knocks, a couple of suspensions today, so we were just leggy, lethargic, I think is a good word. When we played, we were so smooth, but we just didn't play for enough. And at this level, that's what happens. I would say we played at 60% at best during the game. 2 uncharacteristic mistakes for their goals. Normally, 100 times, it doesn't happen. But, the lads did well. The lads are really upset in there because they feel like they should have won. But they understand that, we took a team that was 3rd and 5th this week, outplayed both teams at times. And, this is just probably one game too many this week. But, it is what it is. Point away from home at this league's a good result.
Chances in both halves. Is there an element of frustration that you couldn't put the ball in the back of the net more than twice?
Well, 15 chances and 3 on target. That sums up our afternoon, Charlie. Unfortunately, none of the chances fell to Felipe. He was very angry in there because he just said to the lads, give me a chance, I'll score, and he's proved that. And, it is what it is. Luckily, we go away with a point. There would have been time at the start of the season we wouldn't have got anything. So we know what we need to be better at. It's not like it's all things that slipped. We just played at 60%, finished at 60%, final third was at 60%. Just one of them things. It's just, we've got a week off now, good rest, another good game on Saturday against another team in the playoffs, so we'll be prepared a bit better.
Back at Yarton Road against Dunstable on Saturday, and they're a very good side. Yes,
they're completely different, I'm told, completely different to what they have been. Not as big and bullish, they like to play, which would be good for us. I generally do feel that rest in the week will do the boys the world of good, and as we've proven in the last couple of games, we ain't scared of teams in the playoffs no more. We at 60% we can should be beating teams in this level, so why not? When we're at 100%, we give anyone a game.
Sam, 2-2. What do you make of it?
I think first half we looked a little bit lethargic, probably from a tough game midweek. There's too many gaps, and we didn't work hard enough for each other. But we still created a few good chances and we weren't clinical enough. Had a good chat at half time, come out second half that we controlled the game a little bit better, but just weren't patient enough then in the final third. So, a bit disappointing.
Following Jack Smith's suspension, you took the armband today. Any added pressure to that at all?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll try and sort of lead in the way I play anyway. Whether you've got an armband or not, I don't think that really makes a difference.
And 2 points dropped or 1 point gained?
I think before the game you'd probably say 2 dropped, but on reflection 2-1 down with a minute to go and we get the equaliser. If you can't win the game, then just try not to lose it.
So on Sunday, Oxford United women ensured their path to the next round of the Women's FA Cup with a 4-0 win away at Woodley United. Zoe Barrett grabbed a brace for the U's. She had the first and third goals, with Jenna Legg scoring the second and Sarah King rounding off what was a comprehensive result for the U's in that game. And Oxford City women, they left it late to earn a point against Eastleigh women. Eastleigh took the lead just before half-time, but Ellie White popped up in the 94th minute to rescue a point for the Hoops up there. So that point ensured that City women stayed fourth in the Southern Region Women's Football League Premier, while Oxford United's league position didn't change, as they were obviously in cup action, so they remained sixth in the Women's National League. Oxford United men's side, they maintain their second position in League One after their win at Leyton Orient. It's getting a bit tighter now up there with just 1 point behind Portsmouth, but Bolton right up with them now. I think they're on the same points, but just behind United on goal difference. Oxford City's men's side, they moved up to 22nd in the National League after their obviously big win against Woking. Didcot Town, they dropped to the bottom of the Southern League after their defeat against Poole Town with Swindon Supermarine, who were previously bottom, picking up their first win of the season. In the Southern League Division 1 Central, Northley, they remained second. Kidlington 10th, while obviously Tame United's defeat against Northley, they remain bottom of the table. So coming up this weekend, Oxford United, they're without a game as their match against Portsmouth is called off for the international break. Oxford City, they travel to Ebbsfleet United in the National League. Banbury United, they may host Nuneaton Borough in the FA Trophy on Saturday. Although I think it's been well documented of late the troubles that Nuneaton have been having. So we obviously hope that game goes ahead and their problems are all sorted. But I know they were saying before their game on Saturday against Alvechurch that it may be their last game. So obviously hope that it all ends well there and that they do play that game. But yes, there's a chance that one might not be played. Didcot Town, their game against Hendon has been postponed with their opponents in FA Trophy action. And finally, in the Southern League Division 1, Kidlington, they host Biggleswade FC. Tame United host Leyton Town, and Northley are without a fixture this weekend. And back to you, Colin.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick Locke and Paul Lyon. Back to Woodsy and K-Dog.
Thank you, Colin. That's Lock, Lyon and Ryde, the firmest listers, with the weekend's roundup and looking ahead to this weekend's fixtures. Before we move on to Banbury United's midweek game, we don't have a team of the week this week, which is a bit unfortunate. We are again appealing to anybody that's watching. We share this in the North Berks League group. We share it in the Witney District group. If you want to be team of the week and you want to have your goals featured or even an interview or anything from your club, just drop us a line to oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. I got it right this week. And we will feature your team. We're going to have a goal of the season competition. We're having goals of the week every week. I think Ollie Sanderson's for Oxford City gets in this week. A really good goal, actually. McEachran setting him up and good finish. So that'll be a goal of the week. So what we're going to do at the end of the season is we're going to compile all the goals of the week into a little montage, and then we will put the vote out to those that are watching. Goal of the season, and there'll be a prize for the winner of that. I think at the moment the Oxford City lad Kenzie Taylor's still probably right up there with that FA Youth Cup goal because it's the best strike I've seen. Right, on to the midweek games. Not too much midweek action this week, but Banbury United were looking to see if they could string together a fourth successive away win. They went to Hereford, another former league club at Edgar Street, in front of a crowd of just over 2,000. And this is how they fared at Edgar Street on Tuesday evening.
1-2 with Emmanuel Magia Owusu. Comes forward now to Diath. Diath trying to slide in. Parsons there, intercepted by Hereford though. Cisse latches onto a ball. Flicked round the corner by Cowley. Rooney on to Cisse. Cisse bearing down on goal. Tries to find Cowley in the centre of the box and it's in! Lovely finish there from Jason Cowley. Cisse nonchalantly found Jason Cowley in the centre of the box unmarked. Cowley slipped it into the bottom left-hand corner of Harding's net to make it 1-0 to Hereford. Tries to find Rooney, flicks it on the Irishman towards Cowley. Cowley does well to win the ball off Fleming, driving towards the box. Cowley, Rooney in the box. Rooney is found and Rooney scores! Cowley's driving run found him just on the edge of the box to Evans. Now Majid Owesu finds Evans inside the box, and Livingston comes in with a clumsy challenge and penalty to Banbury, says Oliver Mackey. Livingston came steaming in there on Kelly Evans. We don't have the benefits of monitors or replays, but it certainly looked like a risky challenge for Livingston, and Mackey's given the penalty for that mark. Charles shapes to shoot, and Charles scores into the bottom right-hand corner of Pond's net to make it 2-1 to Banbury. Lifeline for Mark Jones's side. Corley taken penalty from Charles there. Arthur does the job for him. He's got the substitute Yusuf for company. Arthur still going and shoots. Harding can only parry and Fremantle nods in. Harding couldn't quite keep hold of Kobe Arthur's shot. It slipped, the ball slipped out of Harding's hands towards Fremantle, who was on the line to nod in and make it 3-1 to Hereford. Mark to Davies. Now with Henderson. Henderson sloppy pass, doesn't find Davies. Mendes is in here. Can he finish? It's heading towards the goal line, and Mendes gets the fourth. It was a really sloppy pass from the substitute Henderson, who had replaced Ty Fleming earlier in the second half.
So a 4-1 defeat then for Banbury, and not the greatest of defending for the last goal there.
I was laughing there, sorry.
Yeah, so disappointing. They couldn't string their fourth successive away win together and went down to a 4-1 defeat. They're back in action at home this weekend, weather permitting. It's FA Trophy action this week. Oxford City don't come in till the next round, I think, or was it the round after? Next round, FA Trophy second round. Banbury are entertaining Nuneaton Town. Nuneaton Borough, thank you, producer. Nuneaton Borough on Saturday in the first round of the FA Trophy. They didn't have a particularly good FA Cup run. They got knocked out at the first attempt in the second qualifying round. So hopefully Banbury can have a bit of a run in that competition, because they did last year, actually. They got all the way through to the last 16, lost 1-0 to Gateshead in the last 16. So good luck to Banbury on Saturday. Right, I think...
Yeah, good knowledge from you there, K-Dog.
What, not knowing that it was Nuneaton
No,
Borough?
more on from that, you did very well. No, we were really excited last week because we had our first hockey highlights, courtesy of our roving reporter, Kim Fowler. She was able to get this clip from this week, just a little interview, and I just want you to savour the end of this clip. It just takes me back to my childhood. So here's the clip.
As long ago as that?
It's a long time. This is the clip from Witney, second 11 this week.
Really rough game right now against Milton Keynes. We weren't looking forward to this game, but it's currently 6-0, and that is full time.
It's just finished 6-0.
Yeah, finished 6-0. 2 hat tricks from
Gabby
and Handan. Yeah. 3 cheers for Milton Keynes! Hip hip!
Hooray!
Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
I just love that ending. 3 cheers to Milton Keynes. Fantastic. It took me back a very long time ago.
Nice weather as well.
And nice
Lovely
weather. So thanks to Kim Fowler again for that snippet there. Thank you.
Absolutely right. On to the other version of hockey, ice hockey. Oxford City Stars lost 6-2 to Chelmsford Chieftains at the weekend. So that's a bit of a disappointing defeat. There's a bit of news from Oxford City Stars. Petr Cech has left the club on loan to go and join Belfast Giants from the Elite League. So that's a bit of transfer news. And we were hoping that we could have brought you some breaking news, because Carl Catlin was putting a little couple of teasers out on Twitter, X, earlier on, saying, watch this space, there's some breaking news. We were hoping to bring it to you, but he hasn't told us. So we don't know what the news is, but the news is going to break tomorrow. But apparently it's signings. So a
couple of new signings.
And that'll be ahead of Oxford City Stars' next game, which is this Sunday, and that's at Oxpens Road, 6:15 face-off against the Solent Devils. And hopefully Stars can bounce back from last weekend's 6-2 defeat to Chelmsford. Darryl.
Face-off with the Devils. fantastic. You couldn't get that anywhere else, but ice hockey, I don't think. I was really excited last week because we had our first clip of hockey, and this week I'm equally excited because we have our first rugby clip, courtesy of Oxford Rugby Club. So I'm really pleased that we've got this. It's quite a small clip. It's just one try in the game that was played between Oxford and Abingdon.
In which league?
I'll tell you the league as we play the footage. It is actually in the counties to tribute Berks, Bucks and Oxon League North. There we go.
Well done.
Great chip and chase from Clement Eel and passed on to Mark McCarthy there for the try. So our thanks to Gareth Wyatt for that clip from Oxford versus Abingdon. As you can see, the score was 26-24 to Oxford. So really close game.
Yeah.
And again, if any of your have got any clips from rugby, please do send it to us. We will use it on the programme. We are talking quite closely now to some, bigger rugby clubs and bigger hockey clubs as well. So we're hoping to get footage in the near future. So again, that email address to send it to is oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com.
Controversial. Bigger clubs.
Thank
you very much, Oxford, for sending that in. Really good. And we're really excited because we want to, as we've said all along, we want to feature all sorts of different sports. We've got some really good rugby union clubs in this fine county of ours. Chinner flying high at the top of National League One. Banbury and Quins doing really well in the Regional 2 Midlands. Witney doing pretty well in the southern counties as well. So there's loads of really, really good rugby around, and we're hoping to bring you more of that over the coming weeks as we start to spread our wings and try and speak to a few other clubs and get some more coverage for that. Right, another change of sport. Similar shaped ball.
Similar shaped
ball.
Yeah.
We've got some gridiron, American football. Again, just a few little highlights. This was from the Oxford Lancers, which is the Oxford University American football team. They were playing the brilliant name again, the Royal Holloway Bears on Saturday in the Bucks Southern Division 1. And it finished, in keeping with the Oxford Abingdon rugby, it finished in a really entertaining 14-all draw. And here's just a little taster of the American football with the Oxford University Lancers.
On the right, they got a lot of people in. Hand off to Barney, 24.
That's it.
And I
Touchdown.
tell you what, just very well done by 24, Barney. I feel Lancers sending someone. Couldn't quite get it.
Oh, he's wide open.
Oh
28.
my
Oh
lord!
my God,
Oh,
all the way.
spectacular!
All the way.
Craft.
That's
Let me
a
find out
massive
her name.
breakdown in
Oh
coverage
my
there.
lord, he was.
Jesus, they have massive breakdown.
So here we are. Kraft is running in.
Oh,
He
he's
tosses
beat
it
up
out to Barney
Yeah.
at 24, and that is going to bring the score total up.
No, he would have done if he maybe had gone the right way.
Chesterton's running around. Just throw it out of bounds. Just throw
Oh,
it
no,
out
he's going for
oh
it.
my
He's going
God!
for it.
There is space for Chesters.
He's going to get it.
Thinks a man.
All the way.
Oh, there's a flag in the backfield.
Oh, guys, and designed rollouts equally, I would say.
And it's a run. It's a run play. Oh my lord!
That's
And
a
it's
good
a
run as
run
well.
play from Oxford, and that might be a first
Yeah.
down for Oxford.
Brilliant. Thanks. That was great. Courtesy, the footage, courtesy there of the Royal Holloway Bears. What a fantastic name that is. And thank you to our editor, Wes Spearman, for getting that rushed to us just within the last 20 minutes. Basically
Give 'em a
because,
pay rise.
I mean, you noticed there, the Bears were 14-0 up, so
Yeah.
Oxford came back to draw that. So really good game there. Worth going to watch these games, guys, because there are some really good entertaining escapades going on in
Escapades?
Escapades, that's a good
I
word,
like
isn't
that.
it? Got that. American football. So
That's tickled the producer as well.
The producer's going mad behind the
He
screen.
looks like Muttley there, doesn't he? With his shoulders going.
Shoulders were going big time. So that was great. But that just brings us nicely on to myself and our roving cameraman Dan Smith going along to Tilsley Park this Saturday to have a few interviews, hopefully with Oxford Stars manager and a few of their players. Again, we're branching out and trying to bring you some more different sports that don't get the media attention and perhaps they deserve. So we'll be along there. And it might even get to a stage where it might be a challenge Woodsy.
Quite right too.
American football.
Yes.
Seems brutal to
With
me.
your knees, I don't hold out much hope for you surviving, so I'll be looking forward to
I'd be
that.
knocked off. No, knocked down quite quickly, wouldn't I?
You don't want to be knocked off. You don't want to be knocked off.
Where's this going tonight? Where is this going?
Oh dear. Right, on that note, before we have any more double entendres, we'll move on to a roundup of all the results. Before that, though, we'll just give a quick mention to some of the top rugby union results from the weekend. Chinner were playing Plymouth Albion at home at Kingsley Road on Saturday. It was second versus third, I think, in the league, and unfortunately, despite Chinner having a really good run of results, they fell another great game. They fell to a narrow defeat, 17-22. Plymouth Albion running out winners there. In the Regional 1 Midlands, Banbury and Stourbridge drew 13 all, another draw. You don't see that very often. And Oxford Harlequins travelled to Kenilworth, and they came away with a 36-16 victory as well. So a really good result for Quins. And there's some really big news for Quins. They've just installed a new stand at their ground, and we'll have a chat, I think, to somebody at Quins over the coming weeks talking about their mini rugby festival that's really, really popular, which happens in the new year in March. And we'll get somebody in from Quins to talk about that, I think, because it's fantastic to see the kids having an opportunity to play rugby. I think it's probably touch rugby at the younger age groups, and we'll hopefully get somebody in, maybe John Brodley or somebody that's involved with the Quins mini rugby, because I know from my time at the Oxford Mail that was always a really, really big sort of festival of rugby. Loads of clubs from all over the county get involved in that. So we'll hopefully feature that over the coming weeks. Right, okay, we are moving on towards the hour. We're a little bit down on the hour this week, but not a problem. We're now going to just give you our regular weekly results roundup. Little caveat here, it doesn't include the County Cup results. I was desperately trying to find all the County Cup results from the weekend because there was Junior Shield and Intermediate Cup, but I couldn't find them all. Apologies for that, but these are as many of the football and rugby union results that I could find, and after that we'll come back and we'll close this show for another week. Gosford All Blacks 27 all. Gosford All Blacks 27 all. I saw Matt Watts actually on Saturday night. He was he didn't tell me that he had a thriller there. I saw him outside the Chinese takeaway. Not that I was going there. I was going into Tesco's to get some milk.
That's what they all say.
Bit boring that. Special mention to Clanfield as well. Jamie Butt's Clanfield. We went there a couple of weeks ago, and they just keep on winning. 4-1 away to Carlton.
Previous team of the week.
Previous team of the week. Maybe a team of the week again in the future. I'm definitely going to get down there again because it was a brilliant experience when I went down to Clanfield a few weeks ago. They beat the near neighbours in terms of the table, Malmesbury Victoria in that one, and they just keep flying. They're 4 points clear at the top in the Division 1 of the Hellenic League. They're doing great things down at Clanfield at Radcott Road, a little stand being built behind one of the goals and sort of seats being installed. So it's brilliant to see a club on the up, and Pete Osborne and all the people there at Clanfield working their socks off to get that club the success they deserve. They used to be, back in the 80s, a really successful Oxfordshire club. Kevin Older started there, loads of ex-Witney Town players started there, and they were a really strong club, and it's brilliant to see Clanfield on the way up again, and hopefully will find their way into the Premier Division. A couple of weeks ago, if you remember, one of their players said they're not interested in the playoffs this year, they want to win the league.
Right.
And they're making a statement, aren't they? 4-1 there. Brilliant. Well done to Clanfield. Right, before we move on to closing, I think just probably need to have a little mention of a small bit of breaking news just down the road at Oxford today.
Oxford United?
So breaking news this evening. It was the world's worst kept secret, I think, because a lot of people were expecting this over the last couple of days. It's not Frank Lampard, it's not John Eustace. Oxford United have appointed Des Buckingham, former goalkeeper, former youth team player at Oxford United, massive Oxford United fan.
Started when he was 18.
Started when he was 18. Pedigree, well, he's been managing Mumbai City in India, he's managed the New Zealand youth team, never managed in the Football League. So it's a real statement, I think, from Oxford United to put their trust in somebody that will, I think, because he's such an Oxford United through and through man, a fan, I think that he'll certainly give it his all. And really interesting appointment. And I'd like to wish him the best of luck. Because
absolutely. It'll be interesting because I understand his methods are fairly similar to the previous outgoing manager, Liam
I think
Manning.
so, yeah.
And it could work quite well for them, actually, going forward.
I think so, and ultimately, he's coming into a side that are second in the table. They didn't, Liam Manning left, and then United won 5-0 against Chelsea under 23s in the cup, in the EFL Trophy. Then they went 3-2 at Leyton Orient last weekend, a team that historically they don't very well at, and they won there. True. So they're second in the table. Portsmouth dropped points. So Des Buckingham is moving into a club that are flying high. And hopefully, who knows, perhaps Oxford United might go up and maybe Bristol with Liam Manning might come the other way. I doubt it, but let's hope so.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see if in the January transfer window what happens. I think Oxford historically have done well up until Christmas, and then transfers come in and suddenly they plummet a little bit.
But maybe in second place with a really ambitious manager in Des Buckingham, maybe the players will commit to the end of the season. So let's hope so.
I am an Oxford United supporter, so armchair.
And a gooner.
Right.
Finally,
well,
before we close.
I think we've got to mention that two young lads that we've interviewed in the last couple of weeks, Ollie Price and James Coles, have on their way to UAE to have a tour with the England Lions cricket team. So it will be interesting to see how they do. We're hoping to get them both back on after their endeavours in Abu Dhabi and that. So it will be really interesting to hear their stories and what's happened and what might happen for them in the future. So England rebuilding their site, at the moment. You just never know what might come around the corner.
Absolutely.
For those
and some of the interviews and sort of pieces that I've heard mentioning that England are going to start putting their trust in youngsters. The World Cup fiasco, and it was a fiasco. Only just managing to qualify for the Champions Trophy, which would have been an absolute travesty if they hadn't.
Disaster.
So. They're starting with youngsters, and it's a great opportunity for both Ollie and James to show what they're capable of. We know what they're capable of. We've seen them over the years. So the best of luck. They're probably flying over us as we speak.
You never know.
We would certainly keep an eye on things. And I'm trying to think of a joke about Fred Flintstone and Abu Dhabi Do, but I can't think of it.
Abu Dhabi Do.
Yeah,
very
Abu
good.
Dhabi Do.
Yeah, very good.
Best of luck to James and to Ollie. They are not the producers going again.
This is just gone, isn't it? This is gone.
They're not going to be watching because they're
not going to be watching.
But best of luck to both of you, and we will speak to you both when you are back.
They've got a great opportunity to showcase their skills. So
100%.
Good luck.
So before we
will
close,
backing them.
Absolutely. Before we close, this is going to be potentially a mid-season break.
There is
now.
a mid-season break. I was going to talk about the Cricket World Cup, but
Oh no, forget that.
good game today, wasn't it?
I didn't watch it. What
Australia, South Africa.
No, don't care.
No. Australia. So an India-Australia final.
Come on, Australia, I don't care.
My money is on India.
Australia.
We heard it here first, but we'll see what happens.
I haven't got an Indian cricket shirt. I've only got Australian ones.
Yeah, true. So we'll see, won't we? Yes, you are absolutely 100% right. We don't have a studio next week, and doing a rehearsal. I was going to say rehearsal. Pre-recorded, that was the word I was looking for.
This is going well.
It's just not what we want to do. So we're taking a week off, so we'll be back in 2 weeks.
The reason we don't want to do it, of course, is because we're so professional when we go live. We don't make any mistakes.
None whatsoever.
But what we might do during the week off is we might go and get a few things in the can, a few challenge K-Dogs that I can do without a thumb, because I still can't bend it, so... Who knows?
Lots of drinking then.
Challenge Woodsy on the gridiron. Lots of drinking.
Lots of drinking.
No, I think not.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think that just about wraps up tonight's show. You have been watching Woodsy and K-Dog on
Warts and all.
Sports Unleashed. Please join us in 2 weeks' time when we're unleashed some more Ox Sports. It's good night from me.
See ya.